Before I yield, because I just keep wanting to exercise this power that I might have for a little while longer, and exercise it over a man that I have a real chip on my shoulder. He's a senator from Arizona. Yeah, he's been a military fighter pilot. He's been an astronaut, has been out of this world. But what ticks me off, sir, I've said nice things about everybody else, but I'm not saying them about you, sir. Because when I go home to New Jersey and I walk through my airport, I was a Newark mayor, my airport, I see your big bald head up in big picture of you saying New Jersey Hall of Fame, Mark Kelly. Who the heck am I? You're the senator from Arizona, but yeah, you're right, okay. You're this great, celebrated military veteran and astronaut who grew up in New Jersey, who went to high school in West Orange, whose parents were cops. And so you have the accolades in my state, and I am proud of that, and proud I get to serve with you. I still have the floor, stop trying to speak.
Well,
there's rules in this place, don't make me think the parliamentarian or the presiding officer. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Senator, my apologies for the big giant...
With that kind of deference, I now will yield for a question while retaining the floor.
My apologies for my giant mug at Newark Airport, where I
overshadowed me literally.
As Senator Booker knows, I did grow up in the state of New Jersey. And growing up in New Jersey, I came from a very working class family. My family didn't have a lot of money. My dad was a cop. He was a union member. From my earliest days of remembering my mom going to work, she started out as a waitress. And I remember those days after working these night shifts at these banquets, how tired she was. She would work some long hours. And then she became a secretary, but she also would work as a waitress at the same time. And this was just to make ends meet. Eventually, my mother decided that she wanted to become a police officer like my dad. But this was New Jersey in the 1970s. And for a woman to become a cop, it was really hard. It was practically unprecedented. And my mom had to take a written test and then a physical fitness test. And the physical fitness test, it was designed for men. And part of this test required that my mom climb over this 7-foot 2-inch wall. Now, my mother was all of about 4 feet 13 inches tall. And to help my mom out in passing this test, my dad built a replica of this wall made out of a door between 2 pine trees in our backyard. He didn't tell her he made it an inch higher at 7'3". And I'd watch my mom go out there after dinner every night and try to get over this thing. And initially, she couldn't reach the top. And when she finally could, she would usually just fall off into the dirt. But my mom, she wasn't one to give up. And eventually she was able to get over this thing, but it took her a long time. But she practiced for months. And when she finally took this test, instead of getting over in the required 9 seconds, she got over in 4.5, much faster than almost all the men. And my mom became one of the first female police officers in northern New Jersey. And she kept that job for a long time until eventually she was injured. And by the way, it was the union that protected her rights after being injured on the job. But I remember how this job changed our lives economically. Both of my parents having good paying union jobs. It meant more money coming in the door, more money for our family, more money to play sports. It was part of what allowed my brother and me to chase our American dream, to serve in the United States Navy, and eventually both of us as astronauts at NASA. And we were able to do that because our parents worked hard and they sacrificed for us. And because of the support we had, including some really good public schools. That's harder today for a lot of families, including the school part, by the way. I hear from so many folks in Arizona who feel like they're working harder and harder, and they just are not getting ahead. The cost of groceries and gas and housing, especially housing, makes these folks feel like they're just running in place. It shouldn't be that way. And Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they are making it worse. Trump's tariffs are going to jack up prices on nearly everything that families rely on: groceries, rent, cars, housing. They're even trying to do away with the Department of Education. Now, how is that going to help kids get a good education? And if they're successful, their plan to gut Medicaid in order to pay for a giant tax cut for rich people, it's going to be even tougher for hardworking Americans, hardworking New Jerseyans and Arizonans to get ahead and achieve their American dream. So as a fellow kid from New Jersey, man, I never expected that tax cuts for rich people would potentially kill the American dream of kids all over this country. But it could. And as a kid, you, Senator Booker, growing up in New Jersey, I'm interested to hear what was your American dream and why would these giant tax cuts make that kind of dream harder?
I appreciate the New Jersey Hall of Fame member, the only one in the United States Senate, and I appreciate his question.